steam train winding its way through the countryside. It's an image we all love and a nostalgic experience for thousands of steam enthusiasts every year. But it's not just a thing of the past. Amazingly, the steam locomotive is making a comeback. A revival is underway which heralds a new age of steam in the 21st century. 570 stations have reopened and there are over 1,000 steam locos running on more than 100 railway lines.
The sound and the smell, I think that's what the appeal is.
Steam that we like, it's so nostalgic.
I was brought up in the age of steam. I mean, holidays and everything, you went by steam trains. And
the rocking, the rolling, the motion, the noise, the sound, the steam, you're part of it all the time, you're living it. I'm on the footplate, you know, I'm driving it when I'm sitting here, yes.
But it's not just about steam enthusiasts, anoraks for want of a better word.
Well, we don't use that word, but
I bet you don't. But it's not just for steam enthusiasts, is it?
Oh, no, no, this is a whole way of life now. We are attracting families that have never seen a steam train. We're taking children on trains that have never been on a train like this before. So we are, in fact, a living museum.
It was Britain that gave steam power to the world. From the launch of George Stephenson's rocket in 1829 until the Second World War, it seemed there was no stopping the growth of Britain's railway network. It's been called the Golden Age of Steam. But by the late 1950s, the rise of the motor car and spread of diesel and electric trains, hastened by the need to reduce smog in the cities, threatened steam power. In 1962, the Macmillan government called on Dr. Beeching to reassess the state of the nation's railways.
The Beeching report has been published. 5,000 miles of railway and over 2,000 stations are to be closed.
They're closing the stations with beautiful names: Appledore and Chasewater and Saffron Walden. The stations with the short, brutal names: Crook and Knock, Pill and Shap and Leek and Swine and Pant. And the stations with the comic names: Diggle and Giggleswick and Entwistle, Broadbottom and Ramsbottom and Corkickle.
Within a few years of Beeching's gross act of vandalism, people began searching the scrapyards, determined to save the greatest locomotives from a rusty grave. And soon lines reopened as tourist attractions. And the new steam lines gave rise to a whole new manufacturing base. About 200 workshops are now active around the country. At first, it was all about restoration. But as the number of lines increased, it became clear there was need for new replacement parts. And so a fledgling steam train industry was reborn. Soon, whole trains were being rebuilt, replicas of much-loved models lost in the post-Beeching meltdown. The great British love of steam trains has turned heritage railways into big business. Today, steam has an annual turnover of £43 million. Now, for the first time since the 1960s, a brand new steam locomotive is being built, the Tornado. When I say brand new, I mean it. Every bit is newly made and the design is not a replica. It's the first new steam locomotive for almost 40 years.
This machine is a new machine for the new millennium, and it's going to be quite marvellous. People will flock to see it.
So why build an old-fashioned steam train?
The initial idea sprang from the fact that of this class of locomotive, the A1, none of them were preserved. Altogether 49 were built, but none of them escaped being cut up at the end of steam.
I often ask myself whether or not steam has much of a future. And the arguments against it seem to be more about it's a machine from the past, therefore it's got to be outdated. But technology is about using the best of the past and combining it with the best of the future. And that is where we're going.
But although the Tornado is a fantastic achievement, in engineering terms it completely harks back to the 19th century. In effect, steam technology stopped in the 1950s. But now engineers in Switzerland have transformed the world of steam forever. The big problem with steam trains is that they were dirty, inefficient and smelly. But here in Winterthur in eastern Switzerland, there's a revolution. The steam trains being manufactured here don't even use coal. When engineers at Sulzer Winpro were commissioned to build clean, efficient and easy-to-run trains for an Alpine railway, they decided to try out an astonishing new idea, producing steam using light oil. The new steam locomotives have all the nostalgic appeal of old steam, but appearances are deceptive. Inside these traditional bodies lies a wealth of technical wizardry. The new locomotives are light years ahead of any earlier generation of steam. Modern techniques have been applied at every stage of the manufacturing process. In conventional engines, coal is burned to heat the water, so what comes out of the chimney is smoke as well as steam. In the new trains, however, the water is heated using clean-burning light oil, so only steam puffs out.
On a coal-fired locomotive, you would burn coal on a grate, usually shovel it by hand. Whilst we have burners, the oil is being atomized by steam with a very clean combustion, clean for the environment. On the old locomotives, you had to prepare the fire, so you need a lot of preparation time. You need to clean the ash pan, the smoke box has to be emptied. So this is quite a lot of work, which we don't have anymore.
Another great disadvantage of regular steam locos is the 2 hours they take to fire up each morning. With new super-insulated boilers, the modern steam train retains sufficient heat overnight to enable restarting the next morning in just 5 minutes. In fact, new steam scores on all fronts, much cleaner than diesel and with much cheaper startup costs than electricity. But would railway operators back clean steam technology? The most celebrated line in the world said yes.
This locomotive will pull the Orient Express on 150 up to 200 days a year.
For years, love of steam was nothing more than sentimental yearnings for a lost age, or so it seemed. But now it's time to take steam power seriously again. The second age of steam may be coming down the track.